Gucci everybody. In today's video I'm going to show you how to take these fog lights that I got off AliExpress and fully convert them into an RGB Bluetooth setup that you can control right from your phone. Okay, just a quick heads up, this is actually the model that I did first. Then I tried this particular setup, it didn't actually come out right, so I'm going to be showing you also how to remove all of this stuff as well if you end up having some issues in the future like I did. First, you want to go ahead and remove all of these 4 screws and just simply pull out the housing. Again, this is what it looks like, my first version of this, if you will. So all I did was pretty much just yeet them out the back of this thing, and I'm going to show you guys how to basically now remove all of this. You need a heat gun, and from there you just pretty much start heating around the edges, so that way you can start removing that simple little rubber adhesive that they have. And I'll also leave you a link on exactly what they use so you can reseal these things. But yeah, this is exactly what it looks like with the housing off, and now you just want to take these 2 little screws off that's holding in this chrome reflecting piece. And again, this is what that looks like in person, so you guys can get an idea, or if you want to 3D print your own. Also, to achieve this is the original board that actually came out of the other housing. So what I did was basically just kept the same board because they had the exact same cutouts and just flip them. So you will require to remove both of them ahead of time and just make sure you keep track of everything. Now, these are the LEDs that I will be going ahead and using. These guys are the 144 RGBW ones, where basically you can actually dim them also to natural white. So what you want to do is just cut 2 of these bad boys off. Again, it's just whatever fits your particular setup. This works for me. And here's a close-up shot just to give you an idea of what that looks like. Okay, after that, you want to get these 3 prong connectors. You can actually choose whatever setup you want. They go all the way up to 5 or 6 prongs, but 3 prongs were the original setup for the controller, and also it's just less soldering you have to get done. Okay, from there you just want to lay it down on a controlled surface. Go ahead, take your soldering tool and your solder and start connecting them to the negative, the positive, and the ground. So if you end up buying the exact same setup, just use this format so you know exactly how they work. And let's just go ahead and connect the 3 prongs to my controller, so that way we can just test to make sure that everything is currently working. So this is the app itself, and I will be linking everything down in the description, to the controller, to the LEDs, and to all that good stuff. But we just go ahead and test these now so you can see right there that these are actually working. Now we just need to go ahead and create 8 of these in total, including this one. So let's get right to it. So in this case, 4 are going on each fog light. So this is what they look like when they're all said and done. And remember to follow that pattern. Now from here, all you want to do is actually go ahead and cut off the end. Don't freak out just yet, but this is exactly what you need to do in order to get it fully connected. Now don't be scared, we're not throwing away all of our work here. We just need to make sure that we can connect all of these together. Now this is a tool that I got from my soldering kit. You can pick these up for about $1, or you can just go ahead and get the actual wire stripping tool, and basically they serve the same exact purpose. Or even a pair of scissors if you are careful with your hands. So what you want to do is just splice those all the way down like this, so that way you're fully exposing all of the wires on all 4s. Now, there are also better ways to connect these together. This is just the poor man's method. Like myself, I didn't want to spend any more money than what I have to. And I'm also going to be leaving these exposed so you can get an idea, but please keep in mind, you do not want these things touching each other, especially if you're going to run currency through them. I went back and actually unsoldered all of this stuff and actually connected heat shrink on all of these individually. So this is what it looks like, again, exposing for the video purposes so you can get an idea. You don't have to do this shape in particular. It honestly, as long as they're working and connected to each other, then you should be fine. But we went ahead and powered these up, and remember, don't let that exposed connectors actually touch each other, because you will short out your LEDs, or you can possibly shock yourself, so that will not be a good time. But this is what they look like when it's all said and done. Now I actually went ahead and marked all of these off ahead of time with testing the previous one, but you just want to make sure that they line up with behind the original LED setup, and just make sure that none of your solder is actually touching the exposed metal, otherwise all the currents would touch each other. Now this is what it looks like when everything is actually fitted in properly and kind of jerry-rigged in there. Now it won't be perfect, but as long as the LEDs are exposed, it will work. And this is what the back looks like. You don't have to make these massive cuts. This was again the first draft with different LEDs, but this is what it looks like when it's actually turned on. Now let's get these bad boys back into the housing so you can get a better picture of that. Now tell me that doesn't look good, especially in the dark. It just looks so clean. Now it's time to actually go ahead and install these on the car. So now that we're here at the car, I removed the front bumper. If you haven't seen that video on how to do that, I'll be leaving a link up top or down in the description below. So go check that out first, and then honestly, it's just a few clips. It's pretty self-explanatory. You don't actually really need me to explain how to remove this. The clips are just going to come right out. I recommend putting in the housing first before you're actually putting in the LEDs. So again, that's what this looks like. And here is the end result. I know this was kind of fast, kind of quick, but again, this was mostly focusing on the actual setup itself. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please let me know if you have any other comments, questions, or anything related to this particular project, or if there's anything else you want to see me do in the future for my car. Please let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, guys, I appreciate you, and I'll see you, yes, you, in the next one. Peace.